After 31 days of keeping my OMAD window 1 hour or less, I've had some big lessons, some highs, and even a few challenges. Did I lose weight? Did I find joy? Let's dive into my results and see why I'm not sticking to this rule from here on out. I'm Jackie and I've been intermittent fasting since June 2020, and in that time I've not only lost 35 pounds, but I've maintained that weight loss. I have found such joy and balance in this lifestyle without rigid dieting. And last month I set myself a challenge: keep every single eating window to 1 hour or less. And here's what happened. I won't lie, committing to this felt strict at first. I knew I wouldn't have the same flexibility of snacking after I have my dinner or opening my eating window with pistachios a couple hours before I had dinner with my family. I was gonna have to be more prepared if I wanted to keep to the strict 1 hour or less for the entire month. However, quickly I found that there was a lot of flexibility, even with such a short eating window. Every single day, I could switch up my eating window depending on what was going on for the day. So that flexibility really helped me to conquer this challenge. In terms of weight, what happened? You might be surprised to learn that there was no weight change. The day I started and the day I finished, there was less than a pound difference, and my weight fluctuates by multiple pounds day to day. So honestly, I didn't gain weight, I didn't lose weight, I stayed the same. And that might be surprising, but it's also encouraging to me because that means I don't need to do something strict like 1 hour every single day. I could still have the flexibility of my sometimes hour eating window, sometimes 35-minute eating window, sometimes 4-hour eating window, and still live within the flexibility of OMAD, but vary the times day to day. I don't need the strict 1 hour every day to maintain extra weight loss. Here are my 3 biggest wins from this challenge. Number 1 was the flexibility within the structure. As I mentioned, I really enjoyed that every single day I could move my eating window to what I wanted, whether it was going out to breakfast with my best friend to celebrate her birthday, or having dinner at home with my family, or even meeting my husband for lunch. I did all 3 of those, and I simply moved my 1 hour within a 24-hour span to whatever was priority in my life. I still had the structure of the hour. However, I had the flexibility to go wherever, whenever, however I wanted. Another example is my daughter's birthday. She got to pick what she wanted for dinner. I simply moved my hour to the time period where I could still have her birthday dinner with her. And I really appreciated having that flexibility still. If I ate early one day, I just knew that I'd have a longer fast if I wanted to eat later the next day. No big deal. This just goes to show that even in a structured plan, you can find flexibility and make what's important to you work. Before I get on to win number 2, I'm going to take a moment to tell you about the sponsor of this video, Element. Element is a big part of my fasting journey, and when I spent over 96% of last month in a fasted state, that meant I had some nice long fast, 29 hours, 24, 26 hours, and having Element was a big part of that journey. I learned early on that if I had longer fasts without electrolytes, I would get sore legs. However, since always having electrolytes in my longer fasts, I don't have sore legs anymore, and I'm super grateful for that. Having the Element sparkling in my fasting window has been one of my favorite additions to this challenge. It gives me 1,000 milligrams sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, and 60 milligrams magnesium. And on top of those elements that make me feel really good, it tastes delicious too. And right now, Element's offering my listeners a free sample pack with any order. That's a single serve packets free with any Element order. It's the perfect way to try 8 of their flavors or to share Element with a salty friend. You can get yours by going to drinkelement.com/fastingfoodie. That's drinklmnt.com/fastingfoodie. And right now they have their chocolate medley, which is perfect in the cold winter season. Chocolate mint, chocolate raspberry, and my personal favorite, chocolate chai. You can order one of those chocolate medley boxes and use the Fasting Foodie code and get your free sample pack. Double win. Thank you so much to Element for sponsoring this video. And now let's get to win number 2. On top of having the flexibility of moving the time, win number 2 was I could have whatever variety I wanted. I love a wide variety of food, whether it's trying Jimmy John's Pickle Witch sandwich or making homemade gumbo or buttered chicken. I like flavor, I like variety, and I don't want to usually eat the same thing day in and day out. And even if I have a short eating window, I still had the joy and the flexibility of whatever types of foods that I wanted. So yes, I didn't eat for a long time last month, but I ate good. I had lots of foods that I love. I had lots of foods that I needed, and I really enjoyed being able to still have whatever I wanted without the diet brain or food restrictions. Having the variety of my foods kept things fun and interesting, and for me, that's a huge key to OMAD. I enjoy it, so I can stay with it. And Speaking of enjoying it so I can stay with it, big win number 3 was I found a lot of joy even in the short eating windows. Savoring that single meal and knowing that I was able to enjoy foods that are important to me, that taste delicious, that aren't based on restriction brings me so much joy. When you eat one meal a day, there's so much satisfaction wrapped up in that single meal. It's not one of the millionth things that you've ate throughout the day. When you're only eating 4% of a month, food is going to taste better. You're going to have more discretion and do I want to eat this or do I want to eat this? You're going to be able to prioritize the foods that really matter to you, what you really want, what you really need, and it's going to taste better when you haven't been filling it with things you don't really care about all day long. One meal a day tastes so good when you get to it, and I was able to have the satisfaction and the joy in every single eating window. And for that, I'm super grateful. It really reinforced the idea that the joy of one meal a day isn't tied to how long your eating window is, but the foods that you choose to put in your eating window. It should come as no surprise that a challenge had its own challenges. Number 1 was, of course, I felt restricted at times when it came to the actual time that I had. There were times where it would have been nice to enjoy my meal and then a couple hours later have a slow sip of wine to close out my night, or enjoy my dinner with my family and then when we watched a movie later, also enjoy popcorn. Those are things that I like to do regularly, have a main meal and then snack, whether before or after, and it extends my eating window to 2.5 hours. It's not a daily thing, but not being able to do it ever felt a little restrictive, and 31 days in a row definitely reinforced that I like the ability to have, yes, 15-minute eating windows, and I still want the occasional 4-hour OMAD as well. Also, it was really hard to live by the mantra, eat what I want, add what I need, when I only had 1 hour every single day. So that meant when I wanted to go have lunch with my husband and I got the fried chicken sandwich and the tater tots, generally, if I wanted a salad, I could have that before I met him or after I met him. Instead, I had to take the time and the effort to prepare cucumbers and bring them and eat them all in a shorter eating window. And while it was doable, the flexibility of having the longer eating window to accommodate the things that I want and the things that I need is much less overwhelming, and honestly, it's a more relaxed approach, which is an approach that I like more. This past month was a fun challenge that I was able to conquer. I fasted over 96% of the time. I ate less than 4% of the time, but I also learned that I don't need to do this on a day in, day out basis. I like to keep my options and my eating window open. As I will continue to share with you, I will have some eating windows that are much shorter and I will have some eating windows that are longer, but I know that consistently fasting is going to give me the best results, and OMAD is a lifestyle that's here to stay, even if it's sometimes longer than an hour. In this video, I talked a lot about versatility, flexibility, and if you want to see what my 1 hour eating windows were for the entire month, you can check out this playlist. I'm currently adding to it, but eventually all 31 days are going to be in this playlist where you can see my 31 days of 1 hour or less eating windows, what I ate, how flexible and joyful it was. So check it out here. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao, down and ciao.